Hey, welcome to Mama Mandala. I'm Hagar. I'm so glad you're here with me for this moment of inspiration. I want to tell you, the other day it was Beltane, which is a pagan holiday that celebrates the middle of spring. It's the midpoint between spring equinox and summer solstice. And it celebrates the flourishing of the natural world, the blossoming, and the invitation into the ripening and the expansion of arrows of life's great pleasures emerging from within us and giving to us from every direction. That's what it celebrates. And I love working with the seasons because as an artist spirit, I always seek inspiration, and the seasons are so inspiring because they invite us into change. Because it's never static. It's repetitive. It's recursive. But the seasons, even though they come back every year, it's a representation of the ever-changing nature of reality that is both always in a process of transformation and in a process of recursion. And so I love working with it. I love cooking seasonal foods. I love playing with the seasons because it's inspiring and it helps me connect to my own changing nature, and because I think that working with the seasons helps us make healthier choices for the planet and for ourselves. Anyway, so I took myself on a hiking spell excursion. Now, I've been hearing the voice of my muse calling me on an artist date in nature for a really long time, but I'm a mama of two and I run my own business and I run the household, and I'm a pretty busy lady. I have a lot going on, and I'm programmed by capitalism, like a lot of us, to do the work. It's Monday morning. I have to work. I have to get things done. There's a to-do list that I have to walk through and get through, and I have to do things. So I've been ignoring this call. And it's been making me feel a little bit like a hypocrite because a part of my business, a part of what I work with is inspiration, is self-care, is the ability of our being to listen to the call of the wild and of our muse and to follow it and to work with it. Because obviously we need to get work done, and those of us who are parents have a lot of responsibilities, and those of us who are not parents also have a lot of responsibilities. So there's always things to do, there's always shit to take care of. But if we don't follow the urge of our muse, the call of our inspiration ever, then we're not going to live the fullness of who we can be. I know for sure that when I listen to my muse, I am a better parent. You know, I show up, when I show up to myself, I can show up to others. And it's never going to be in balance, but it's an invitation to engage in life and include ourselves in that engagement. And I wasn't doing it, you know, and I felt like a total hypocrite. So on Monday, when I was hearing that call, I live in LA and it was raining, and it was this light rain. It was beautiful. And I took myself to one of my favorite places, and it's one of the places I love going to with the kids. It's the first time I've gone there without the kids in forever. And I took myself on an artist date, and it was really hard because the programmed capitalist me said that I was wrong, and I was feeling guilty, and I was feeling even a little guilty that I have the privilege to be able to do that because I'm my own boss. I could say fuck off to the to-do list and go on this excursion. And I used to do that a lot, so it felt like I was going into a part of myself, an old part of myself, the wild self, the wild woman archetype in me, and using it in this doorway of the season to recreate myself, to create a new self. Because like many mothers that I know, I feel a little bit lost. The me that I've known, the me that I've cultivated, the me that I've grown is a little lost as I've become a mother. Now I'm 10 years in and I'm still navigating through the darkness to figure out who I am. And we're not all of you are going to take as long as as I do through this process. We all are different. But following my muse, I was realizing as I was walking on the wet soil and smelling the different flowers and brushing against wet plants that got me soaked, and yet it felt so good. And seeing there's a lot of mustard blossoms right now on all the hills of LA, and the elderberry is growing. There's like a lot of blossoming and a lot of beauty, and the scents are amazing. And there's, mind you, also a lot of stinging nettle and a lot of poison oak. So there's things to be mindful of and careful of. And there's this greenness, this lushness that washes over the land, and it just felt amazing to be in the presence of it. And I was hearing the voice inside of me saying, you have to follow me. You have to follow your muse. You have to, because this is going to make you a better mother, and it's going to help your work. And I know that because my work is dependent on me being inspired. I'm a writer, among other things. So wow, it was a huge revelation, even though it was the most obvious. It was the secret of my sauce, of my soul, hiding in plain sight. And it felt so important and it felt so valuable. And I wanted to share that with you because I want to inspire you. I want to encourage you in case you're like me and you're most of the time following the to-do list and the have-tos and the responsibilities that you have. And it's hard for you to take yourself away from it and make space for yourself to do the things that you need to do in order to nourish your soul, your spirit, to take care of your body, to take care of the parts of you that are not caring for others, but that are for the pleasure of it. And this is really the point of Beltane in a way. And we can look at the different holidays on the wheel of the year, on the pagan wheel of the year, as moments that are tipping points, that mark points in the season. And I also love to work with those holidays less of as a moment that marks time, and more as a phase, something that then changes and shifts to the next phase of the season. And Beltane is all about pleasure. And this is, I think, why I listened to it so deeply when I went on this hike, because it was the part of me that wanted to experience one of the things that gives me the most pleasure, which is being out in nature and being by myself and listening to the plants and having conversation with trees. I needed that. That gave me a lot of pleasure. So it felt like a Beltane spell. And I want to invite you to do something for yourself. It doesn't have to be huge. I took a couple of hours to do that. I came home and I still worked and then went to pick up the kids. It wasn't huge, but it was pretty huge. But it can be even shorter. It can be maybe 15 minutes or half an hour every day for the next few weeks that you carve in order to practice, in order to show up to something in your life that gives you pleasure. And whatever it is, whatever feeds that part of you, that needs and is asking to be taken care of, I invite you to show up to it and to listen to the messages that it has for you. Because as I was walking in the woods by myself, following that part of me that needed attention, that part of me had a lot of wisdom to share, had a lot of deep messages that were coming to me through the plants, through the soil, through my own inner voice. So enough with that. Go ahead and do that. And I also invite you, if you'd like, I would love to have you join me on a Beltane somatic ceremony that I created for this reason, right? In a way, I created it for others and then forgot to take care of myself, but then remembered. So now it feels super charged with the authenticity of actually walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So Beltane somatic ceremony has a conversation and an exploration, a mythopoetic exploration of symbols and archetypes and metaphors that work with this phase of the season. And then it has 5 videos of different practices that you can engage in following the 5 elements, and also has a bonus meditation session and journal prompts. So it's really rich and deep, and I hope you would love it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. So I'm gonna actually leave a link in the description of the video so that you can go ahead and go for it and check it out, and let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. I am so grateful to have this moment with you, and may we have many more moments of inspiration on our own and together. Thank you.